How are you guys? I hope you're all fine. That we are still on SQL, but we are moving on to the having function. We are going to do with the heavy function, and we'll move on to the next function, which will be querying. Actually, will be querying two tables. How to query two tables. Of course, we've been querying one table, but we'll also see how to query two tables. Right. Let's move on so that at least we can finish this topic this week today, or probably on Monday. Right. Right. The having class allows you to add a condition to the grouped results. Remember, yesterday we were looking at the grouped functions like count, sum, AVG, max, and min. So those grouping function, they go hand in hand with having. Right. So this is done by pressing the having class after the group by class, as shown in this syntax here. Right. Can you see there? The select, you list your field. Normally it will be one field. You list one field here which you want to group by. Of course, we learned that about that yesterday. So group select, then the field, then we have got our aggregate function here. Then then the label from the table name where condition and you can, if you have got a where condition, then followed by a group by, then the having class follows last. Okay. Right. Let's quickly go down to the example here and try to implement the example. Let's look at this one. Select genre, then we count O is number of movies from TBL movies, group by genre. Then in those counting, remember we are grouping them according to genre. How many movies fall under each genre, like what we did yesterday? Then we only want those ones or those groups which has got a count which is greater than what or equal to 5. Okay, let's try to implement it so that we can see how we can go about it. Let me get to my Delphi. Right, this is my interface. We are going to implement that one on example 1. Right, so we are selecting here. Let me just take down the name of the field. The field is we want the genre. Right. And you are counting each under this, right, under the different categories. Right. So here we go. Genre. Right, we are count O, like what I taught you yesterday, that you can use a count O instead of count particular field. So as say the number of movies. Of movies number of movies. Then from our table name, TBL movies. Right. Then we group. The aggregate functions goes with group. We group by this listed field here. Right. Genre. Right. Then after grouping, we bring our having now. We want the one having having a count of all those ones which has got more than count greater than or equal to 5. So only those groups of or genotype of movies which counts to more than 5 will be displayed. Okay, right. Let's just run our program and see what will be the resultant like. There we go. Right, this is it. Then you run my program. I think I put the code on the wrong button. Which button is this? It's example 1. Okay, it's still fine. Okay, let me just look again. My code select agenda count all is number of movies from TBO movies. Then you group by genre having a count of more than 5. Right. So it looks okay there. Let's go back. Group by. Right. Let me just check there. Our group by. I left something there on group by. It's group by. I'm saying it, but I'm not writing it correct. Must put group by there. Right. Let's run and see now. I'm running the project. There's the running form. Then I click my group by. So here we go. So you see that these are the genres whose number of movies, or the total number of movies, is greater than 5. Right. You will see that. Let me remove the condition there so that you can see. I'm removing the condition having there, and I'll just remain with the group by. You will see that there's other categories which were just left out because they don't meet that criteria of greater than or equal to 5. So I've removed the condition there. So you see that this is all we have before we apply the condition, right? Once we apply the condition, all those ones with a count of 3, 1, 1, 1, they will be eliminated. Okay, let me just put back the condition there so that we see our expected results. Right, so there we go. Right, this is required output. So these are the only genres who have got a count of more than 5, more or equal to 5. Right, let's move on to the next. Maybe we can do one more example. Right, let's do numbers 2. You can try to do number 1 on your own. I'm going to do number 2. Right, number 2. I'll copy the. Sorry. Number 2 is saying the average income per genre where the average income is greater than 15. Is it 15 million or whatever there? It's not 15 million. Maybe trillion, but those are the figures which are there, right, in our movies. Right, so I'm going back to try to do this. The average income per genre where the average income is greater than 15 and those zeros there. Right, I'm going back. to my Delphi. Right, I'm going to do it to apply that one under example 2. So obviously, I'm selecting store under genre because we want the genres with more than is it so? With an average of more than that figure there. So average income. So I'm selecting the income. What's the average income? A genre, okay. So I'll select genre, then I'll average the income. Right, select genre. Right. Then AVG of what? Income is average income, right? Then from, remember I'm not putting the square bracket because I've just joined this. I've just joined the word with an underscore. Let me just expand my form here. Right, so from TBL movies, right? Then group by this field, which is genre, right? Then I'm having, then we have our having what? AVG, income greater than this number 15 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, I'm closing the bracket. I'll close the quote. Right. There we go. Let's see how it goes. And there are some errors here. When I didn't terminate, I'm sure I forgot to terminate here. Right. There's a bracket missing. Sorry. There's a bracket missing. Remember, I said having group by genre, having this average. Let me just put a bracket under this so that they can be going together, right? Because remember, I closed. Sorry, I closed there, but I forgot to. Let me just correct that. Just wait for my computer to correct that. Right. So I'm saying AVG, but I didn't put a bracket. I can decide to remove this one. It's fine. Then I have to remove this one as well because it cannot close without opening there. Let's see our output now. So this is our output. So now you see that these 3 genres are the only ones which have got an average of more than 15 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Yes, so those are the ones which has got an average greater than that. Remember, yesterday I told you that you can format this one into currents. Let's just try to format it into currents or any other format, right? This is how you format this output, this one. So here you have to put a format, then comma, double quotes, currents, double quotes 0.0 because we want it to 2 decimal places. So this is how you format your output to currency. It's a bit long story there, but I'm sure you can get it. I'm sure you can get it right there. Let me just run again and see if the currency screen comes out. So it's 2. There's a missing, all right. Format, yeah, formatting the average income to 00 as average, okay. There's a missing expression. Let me just go back and look at the error there. Maybe it doesn't format the when the field is being it comes from an aggregate function, okay. But let me see again. I opened there. Okay, I have to close there. I have to close there because I opened for this one, so I have to close there. Right. Let's see what comes now. Data provider, if right, there's still an error which I still have to figure out there. Format the average income to currency. Right, opening, how many times did I open? 1, 2, close. Right. I think the problem is that we don't apply this formatting on an aggregate function like average. That's where the problem is. Can only format when it's in a single field. That's how we can format it to currency, right? That's the problem there, right? Or maybe it want me to format here as well, but don't think it's necessary. Comma. F is currency. Close quote 0.00 close. Right, let's see if it will give us the required output. Okay. Right, so you don't format on a aggregate function. That's the thing. Okay. So you just use it as it is. You don't format on aggregate function. Right. Right. Let's move on to the next one. So I'll simply remove the format here. The formatting of aggregate function cannot be accepted. You only format when it's a single value. Right. So I'm taking off this so that we can return with our output without formatted. I will just run it again. Then there we have got our output. Right, so this is how you do it, guys. Right, that's it for the having function, the having class. Right, let's move on to the next one. We are done with this. You can try to do number 1, the number of movies per studio ID. Only showing studio with 10 or more movies. You can try to do this one on your own. Right. The next item is querying 2 tables. When you are querying 2 tables, how do we go about it? In a relational database, meaning that it's a database with 2 related tables. That's what we mean a relational database. I will show you the tables down there when I'm done with this. There are many situations where you may want to select data from more than one table at the same time. To do this, you will use a special condition in the where class to link the two tables. Right. Let's look at these tables. We've got two tables here. Where is it? That we've got two tables from our database. I'm just trying to open the database now. Right, do this. I'm opening our database with those two tables so that you can all see the tables which I'm referring to. Screen, where's the database now? Right, here we go. Right. Let me close there. We've got these two tables, TBL Movies and TBL Studios. Okay, right. In TBL Studios, this is what we have. We've got the studio ID, name, full name, city, province, and country. Then if you go to the movies tables, we've got the ID, title, then we've got this field, which we are calling studio ID, which is found in the studios table. As you can see, it's this one. It's a primary key in the studios table, is it? But here, when it's here, you call it a foreign key. So it means these tables are linked with a foreign key, which is this one, okay? We've got income, we've got list date, we've got score, then genre, okay? To show this relationship, we can go to database tools, then it can show you this, this relationship. So you can see that we've got the relationship one is to many here, meaning that one studio can have many movies. One studio can have many movies. So this is a foreign key, which is a primary key in the table TBO Studios, right? So the thing is like now, if you want to select from the two tables, how do you link with these tables? You link it through the foreign key. I'm going to show you what we are going to be doing now. I have to close here. Then close here, right? So if I go back to my slide, as it is saying, the way close to link the two tables. Let's look at the syntax. Right, the syntax is as follows. You say select. This one is optional. You can list the table name where the field is coming from, or you can just list the field name, comma, and the second field name from. Then you list the two tables where this information or this two fields are coming from. Okay, you list table 1 and table 2. In our case, it's TBL Studios and TBL Movies. Okay, where table, then the foreign key. In our case, the foreign key is studio ID. So it's saying TBL Studios dot studio ID is equals to TBL Movies dot studio IDs. That's how you link the two tables. As explained here, the first line selects the field names and the table from which they must be taken. The second line lists both the table name in the from class, separating the table names with a comma, like here. See here, like table 1 and table 2. This condition creates the link where the link between the two tables or the tables. If this condition is omitted in the where class, your result set will display a lot of duplicate values, right? So you see there in this example, we are selecting from TBL Movies title, from studios, we are taking the name. Then we list the two tables here where we are getting these fields. Then our where clause, we say TBL Movies dot studio ID equals to TBL Studios dot studio ID, because this is field is the foreign key linking these two tables. Okay, right. Like what I've shown you in the database there, that this Here's the database now. Like what I've shown you in the database, that these two tables are being linked by the studio ID, which is a foreign key. Okay, right. And you also see that in this is the studio tables. So there's studio ID 1 to 10 there, and the other information. If you go into the TBL movies, we'll see that this, for example, this movie, it was produced in Studio 1. So it was produced in Studio 1. Okay. Then you go to the next one, which is this one, Studio 2, and it goes on like that. If I go to this one, maybe record number 10, which studio was it produced? It's Studio 2. What is the name of Studio 2? Studio 2 name is Disney. Okay. That's how it works. Okay. Right, I'll go to an example and try to implement that one so that you can see how it works. Right. So I've just done that one in advance. This one, on example 4. So we are selecting. I've decided not to put the table name. It's just one and the same. If you put the table name like TBL movies dot this one, and this one is from studio, so it says. Okay, let me just do it, but it will be just the same. Right, I will put it, then I will run it. Let's run this one as it is. So I'm selecting this field's title name from TBL movies, TBL studios, where, this is very important, this way, where you are linking the two tables, where TBL movies.studio ID is equals to TBL studios.studio ID. Right, let's see how it goes. Right, there we go. I'm sure you can see the screen there. So you can see that we have got our title, our name. This information is coming from, the titles are in TBL movies, then the names are coming from TBL studios. So these are the fields which we got from the two tables, okay? From these related two tables, right? Right, I think it's clear there. Right, I'm sure it's clear there. Right, let me go back. Let me go back to my Delphi. Please make sure that this is okay. Let me now try to put the tables TBL. I said this one is TBL movies. If you want, if you decide to put the name of the table, dot title. This is for the title. Then for if the name is coming from TBL studios. Right, dot name. So you see that I've just initialized it with the actual names of the table where the field is coming from, like here. So it's all the same. It will give you the same result. I'll run this one, and you see that it will give us the same result. All right, it's yeah. Right, so you can see that the result set is the same. The result set is the same, whether you indicate the table where the field is coming from or not. The SQL will know where the information will be coming from. Right. But let's do one more example. We are going to do one more example. Let me share. Go back to Delphi. Right. Yes, sorry there. Right. Let me go back to the example here. So now, this is what we've done. All right. Let's go to the next one. If you would like to show the movie title and the studio names of all movies with a score greater than or equal to 90. So it's the score greater than or equal to 90. You could create the following SQL. Right. But we are selecting the title of the movie, the name of the movie, from these two tables, TBL movies and TBL studios, because these fields, as I have mentioned, they're coming from two tables, where you have to link the two tables with the foreign key. In this case, studio ID is a primary key in TBL, it's a foreign key in TBL what? Movies, and the primary key in TBL what? Studios. So we link the two, and TBL.score is greater than 90. Then we incorporated an order by TBL movies.score. So we are ordering them in according to score, right? But remember, we are only wanting the ones with more than 90 score. So we are going to amend the one which we are already having. We will amend the code which we already having, so that you can see this different result set, right? But just switch on. Let me switch on to Delphi. Right. I'll just copy this here and amend it. I'll copy just this and I'll amend it, and this. But colon is wanted here. What is happening? Okay, let me just change the settings there. My program is running. Let me stop the program. Right there. Right, so it's select here. Then I'm coming here to make the amendment to add the right. So here now we are saying we want those ones with the more than or equal to with the score of or more than or equal to 90. So I'm putting my way there, where I can just say score, or I can put the table name. It doesn't excuse me, it doesn't make any difference. So I'm saying now the score, remember I have to put end, because this what is happening, the way is there, sorry, I have to put end, that end score greater than or equal to 90. As I have alluded that you can decide to put, okay, I can decide to put a movies, the table name there, but it doesn't make any difference. So the score must be greater than or equal to 90, and we are also going to order it by the score. So order by the score. I can again write the name of the table TBL movies dot score. So here we are saying we've added this one. We're saying added this, saying and besides this condition of linking the foreign key and the primary key, we are also saying it must return the records with a score more than or equal to 90, and we must order it by score. It must be ordered by score. Right, let me run and see how the result set will be different. It must be here. There we go. Of course, there's no score there, but you can see that these are the ones with a score more than 90. But how are we going to see it? Because we don't have a score. Let me go back and add a score so that we can see that it's doing whatever we want it to be doing. Right. So I'm going to go here and I'll add a score. I want the name, then a score. Our score is from TBL movies. Dot score. Right. So if I run it now, to clearly show us the results. So it must be here. Is it here? Yeah. Right. Where's the score now? Looks like it's not. The score is very tattered there. So let me just try to take it back. You can see that the score is there, but it's just being. Let me just try to expand these things here so that you can see. Right. Then, okay. I can see that this name, the name of the movie there, is too long, so that it's pushing the score on the other side, which is that side. Let me try to just fix the score there on the database. Just wait so that I can correct this. So we are returning score title. All right, name. I think the name field is not resized properly. The name one in the, is it in the name in the, where's name? Not here. Right. I'm just trying to resize the name field so that it can show me correct results there. I'm putting it 50. Right. Right. I'm running my project again and see if it can display my output in a better way. So it's 5. Right. It's better now. So you can see that these are the movies with this title and this name, which has got a score of more than or equal to 90, and we have sorted according to score. It's not sorted according to score, is it? It's not. Right. We have to sort in, do you want in descending or ascending? Okay, sorted in ascending because I didn't specify here. It's sorted according to ascending because I didn't specify. If I want it to be sorted in descending, I can specify now. Let me go back and specify and ask it to sort in ascending. So we are ordering by score, then we want it in what? In descending, so that the highest score will appear first. Right. Right, let's see now. Here we go. Right, you see. Right, so you see that our score is sorted in descending order now. The one with the highest score is appearing on top, and it goes on like that. So this is the information we are having. So the title is from the TBL movies. The name is from the TBL studios. Then we linked our table, and we also score is also coming from the TBO movies, I'm sure. Yes, right. Then we linked these two tables. Then we ordered to sort in descending order according to the score, which we have just done. Let's just revisit our code and see what we have done again. But so remember, we are selecting from two tables, and I also mentioned that you can choose not to initialize or put the name of the table in front of the field there. You can choose not to, or you can, it's all the same, is it? Right. Then you list from, then you list your two tables which you are selecting the information from. Then you can put your condition, the way class, first by linking the two tables, the one with the other one with the primary key, then the other one with the foreign key, which is studio ID. Right. How do you know which field is a foreign key? The field which is a foreign key will appear on both tables. Like here, if you look at this here, you see that in this TBO studios, we've got studio ID, and in this table TBO movies, we also have got a studio ID. So this means this one is a foreign key. What is a foreign key? A foreign key is a primary key in another table, which creates or links the relationship or creates the relationship between the two tables. Okay, right. Then we add any other conditions. In this case, we are saying and because we want this condition also to be met, that to say that the score must be greater than or equal to 90. So we add that condition. If you have got any other condition, we can still add it. Is it? Then order by score in descending order. Okay, right. So that's how you select from two tables. Right. I've got, let me go back to the screen there so that you can take and try to work these ones out. I've got homework for you so that you can work over the weekend and try to apply these things. So I've got homework, which is saying the first one, by joining the TBL movies and studio table, create queries that show the following information. So it's not supposed to be number one instruction. The title and date from the TBL movies table and the name from the studios table. Right. So this is actually number one. Or number two, which is number three, you can also try this. The title score and income from the TBO movies table and the city and province from the TBO studios table. Okay. The next one, the title, the score and income from the TBO movies table and the name from the TBO studios table where the score is below 40. Right. Number five, the title from the TBO movies table and the name from the TBO studio table where the city is Los Angeles. Right. Number the next question, the title, the score, and the income from the TBO movies and the name from the TBO studios table where the income is above. My numbering is not correct there. So this is a one question, okay? So I'd like you to try and do those questions, guys. Right, that's it for today. When we meet next week, we'll be doing data maintenance, which is insert, update, delete, then we'll be done. Okay. Enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.